Welcome Scorpio, it's your in-depth monthly forecast for January 2025 for the Ascendant, the Sun or the Moon. I'm going to give you some standout details to look out for to begin with. Then on screen, the event chart, which provides a backdrop for the whole of January. As influences feed in, I'll go through each of those frame by frame to give you a clear picture of what January 2025 holds in store. I'm astrologer Patrick Arundell, wishing you all the best for year 2025. If you're new to my channel, thank you for joining me. This is very much a community. If you have any thoughts, please do share them. If you've yet to subscribe to my channel, we have found that 50% of people who regularly watch my videos are not subscribers. Please help the channel to click that sub button, but also the bell notification symbol. Also, please like and share my videos too. If you'd like to order your year 2025 personal forecast based on your unique birth data, if you order in 24, you'll get the rest of the year free. In 25, you'll get a full 12 months from the time of the order. You'll also get my free gift of your zodiac, general, love, Chinese and Vedic forecast, as well as 30% off and your life roadmap report. Your life roadmap report is particularly influential because this helps you to understand the patterns that are played out in your life so far. The forecast helps you to time your moves, because knowing when the planets are helping or perhaps resisting your efforts is a critical feature of working with astrology. If you'd like to order from a whole sign perspective, a solar perspective if you don't know your time, draconic perspective if you'd like your soul perspective, please see the links below for more. Also, if you'd like to have a one-to-one with me, I am a consulting astrologer. Please check out my testimonials below and you can read exactly what people have said. I don't edit these at all. Your two rulers of Mars and Pluto, Mars your traditional ruler, Pluto your modern ruler, are in conflict as we go into this new year. That reaches a peak on the 3rd. I will unpick that for you. But Mars is also in a retrograde, which means that it inverts into your sector of freedom, adventure and independence on the 6th, where it will be through to the 18th of April. That suggests some exciting developments in your life early in the new year. But there is a full moon on the 13th, which also has Mars, but Uranus, the planet of change, in the mix. If there is a situation that you feel really held back by, where you feel your freedom is compromised, that could be a telling time. But as the month goes on, the focus is going to move much more on where you live, how you live there and who with. Anything to do with the inner workings of your life really comes sharply into focus. On the screen now, I'm sharing your event chart right at the start of the year. As usual, we need to look at the position of the two luminaries. The Sun, always in your 3rd house, suggests your mind can be active. The Moon is here too. The reason for this, Scorpio, is that on the 30th of December we had a black moon. Now that's separating, but that new moon energy really gives you potentially a desire for fresh engagement and interaction with people. But your two rulers, you can see that Mars is right at the top of your chart, suggesting, despite its retrograde, that throughout the next 12 months, but particularly in January, you may want to push yourself outside your comfort zone. It could be around your own personal situation, it could be professionally, but that may mean that that has some kind of impact on your home, security, or a very close relationship. But also you can see that Uranus is in your sector of relating still, as it has been since 2019, and that can be a very provoking influence. It can bring fresh people into your life, but it can also see you restless. particularly if a relationship has got a little stale. And you can see that Uranus does square off with Venus in your 4th house. So even if you are in a tie, any kind of relationship where perhaps it's a little too predictable, there may be part of you that wants to be provocative and perhaps try to gain some kind of reaction or spark if things have become rather too mundane. But Saturn, the planet which is very much to do with structure, time, but also limitations, begins this year still in your sector of self-expression, but also romance. And that is clashing with Jupiter. So whether it's Uranus's influence or it is Saturn's, if there is a chink in a relationship, it could be revealed as this month goes on. But on the 3rd, Venus, the planet of relating, moves into the sign of Pisces, joining up with Saturn and Neptune. That can give you a desire early in the year to engage in more social interaction. But if you have been trying to get your finances really more balanced, the Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius may have proved somewhat challenging. But that came to a close in mid-December, but the post-retrograde shadow ends also on the 3rd. But the 3rd is a really powerful day because your 2 rulers come into an exact conjunction on that day. And if there is some kind of power battle going on, whether it is within your family, whether it is with a partner, whether it is professionally, I think the most important thing to understand is that Mars in the 10th house at this stage can be about domination. It can be about authority. And it's important that you don't win a situation, at least on the face of it, but it also leaves some kind of lasting imprint which may affect the long-term harmony between you and someone you have to collaborate with. So if something frustrates you at the start of this month, I feel that Venus moving into your 5th house suggests you do use a degree of charm and decorum to try to defuse that tension. But on the 6th, Mars in its retrograde inverts back into your sister water sign of Cancer. Now, if you are wanting to break out, go somewhere for some snow or for some sun, that can be just the prompt you need to take the action to make it happen. But Mars is going to be retrograde through to the 24th of February and in your 9th house right through, as I mentioned before, to the 18th of April. So if you are feeling restless, one of the great ways to deal with this is actually to get more active. And I know a lot of people do set their intentions around New Year's resolutions, but many of us by the end of January have lost a little bit of interest. But Mars really can spur you on to keep going if there is something that you want to do that's more vigorous, that can build your stamina. But if you are wanting a freer lifestyle, that can feed into that narrative. Now Mercury moves into your 3rd house on the 8th, which can see a speeding up of your thinking and also can help you to start to get some ideas that you had right at the start of the year moving in a practical way. But the 11th is perhaps one of the most important dates of the whole year. The nodal axis inverts the north, the point of destiny, into your 5th house. Expressing yourself is going to be a big theme this year, but you are going to have to work at it. The 13th sees that full moon in Cancer. Now Cancer and a full moon is a very intense lunation, but because your traditional ruler Mars is in the mix, if you do feel limited or someone you feel is controlling your independence, it could create quite the response from you. And you may want at least some time out. You might want to do your own thing, but also you may want to do something in a much more sudden way, even if you're someone who can be quite aligned and quite invested for the longer term. This could be one of those moments that does happen in your life when big changes can come for you. On the 19th, however, the Sun moves into Aquarius. Now for you, that's your sleep point in the sun's journey. So it's the time just to pause a little bit and make sure that you're feeling comfortable, secure and safe in your life journey. So quite the contrast to that more daring, provocative energy of that Cancer full moon. Perhaps part of the movement of the sun into Aquarius and its connection, its application to your modern ruler Pluto on the 21st is because that full moon was so powerful. You just need to let all the fallout from it percolate through your system and perhaps even decompress from it. But on the 28th, Mercury plays catch up. If you have ever thought of operating a business from home or just getting your home space working a bit more efficiently, this is a great opportunity to do that. But we also have in week 3 Venus applying to Saturn. If there is someone that you really like that you've recently met, this could be an opportunity to get much closer in a more formal way. But the converse can be absolutely the case. It may be if you feel a relationship isn't working, whether it's a social tie, a friendship, or romantically, that is a really testing combination. But then on the 29th, we have the new moon. But what a new moon in Aquarius this is. If you have been thinking of moving homes or in some way improving the accommodation you're in, whether it is a practical upgrade, such as refitting parts of it, or it's something more decorative in terms of the colour scheme or furnishings, probably the January sales could call out to that, because Uranus also ends its retrograde, the higher octave ruler of Aquarius, on the 30th, ironically. And we do have a tremendous link between the Sun and Jupiter as the month draws to a close. So there can be some fortune in the air. So if you are looking for some new accommodation, you may just snaffle exactly what you need. But remember, Pluto's about transformation. When it's so close to Mercury and the moon, that's very potent indeed. It can impact on your thoughts around where you live and how you live there, but also how you feel about people that you're very close to, or about the sense of security and shelter that you have in your situation. If there is any challenge to that at the moment, this is a time when you need to dig deep and find the drive and energy of Pluto to go with the flow on the transformations that it's calling out for you. But there could be that window of opportunity that comes in some kind of unexpected way because of Jupiter's link to the Sun, and Jupiter's in the part of your chart to do with jobs, but also to do with life's practicalities. And that although it starts and ends this month in retrograde, some kind of rethinking around that could feed into creating that more that safe and secure space right at the heart of your existence. A great month, and do check out your year 2025 deep dive video by clicking on the link underneath this one.